Ladies and gentlemen, natumai ubuheri wa afya jema. Huyu ni wenu Gashis Kaman, the tallest man Black Africa. We are back to the streets. You remember last week I told you that the talks have collapsed. The bipartisan politics, the bipartisan dialogue was headed nowhere. That is something I said. When I said this, many people were wondering why I was saying this, yet the two parties were not even done with appointing the negotiators. Lakini ukweli usemwe ni kwamba tulikuwa tunajua vizuri sana that these talks were headed nowhere. Huo ndio ulikuwa ukweli wa mambo. And when you look at the situation is now very bad. The situation means that we shall be having demonstrations. And Raila Amolo Odinga, together with his team, are determined to ensure that all what they have been agitating for is brought to the dialogue. One of the things that Kalonzo said, Kalonzo has come out to be the voice of Azimio. Kalonzo is coming out to be very, very determined, very, very principled. Indeed, I've said that if there is one person who will come out very strongly after these demonstrations, it is Kalonzo Musyoka. Kama kuna mtu ambaye anajegwa na maandamano haya, ni Kalonzo Musyoka. Kama kuna mtu ambaye amejitolea hapa, akawa na msimamo dhabiti, akawa mtu tofauti kabisa, mpaka sasa everybody is saying, by the way, that Kalonzo is the man to beat in 2027. Kalonzo told it all that they are going to withdraw if there will be talks just involving parliament. The bipartisan dialogue must be held outside parliament and must involve everybody. That is Kalonzo who said this. He said they are not going to participate. They are going to withdraw. And this one seems to have caught the government off guard. Jambo hili linatuonyesha kwamba Azimio is determined to bring the changes that they have been agitating for. And when you look at the government, one thing I like about Azimio is that they are making the government do a lot to bring the cost of uga down. Tuseme ukweli wamejaribu. Kwa sababu kule hata kupata uga ambao unauzwa shilingi 166. Kusema ukweli, unajua hapo mbeleni hakungekuwa kitu kama hiki, and tena uga wa ajabu vile vile unasemekana umeshuka kiasi kidogo, but all the other brands were selling between 190 and 210. So not much has been done. But you can see whatever is happening is because of Raila. It's because of Azimio. And if the cost of uga will come down, I believe that Kenyans should give credit to Raila Amolo Odinga. No credit should be given to William Samoei Ruto and his team. They are doing this, they are trying to do this, they are trying to import maize because of Raila Amolo Odinga, because of the effort of Azimio. So, I believe in a way, in the fullness of time, Kenyans are going to benefit from these demonstrations, from this agitation, from Azimio pushing the government to the corner. Again, even the issue of IBC, ukiangalia utaona kwamba kama Raila angenyamaza, ukifikiri tungeelekea wapi? Lakini sasa, you see, the government serikali imekubali kuwe na mazungumzo kuhusu IBC. Na hapo beleni hawangekubali jambo kama hili litokee. Hawangetaka kusikia hata IBC kitajwa. Lakini sasa ukiangalia utaona kwamba wamekubali kabisa. Mkono usioweza kukata ubusu, wameubusu ule mkono wa Raila Amolo Odinga. Again, when you look at what is happening. I believe also Azimio is not happy with the government. The government is addressing Azimio with a lot of contempt. When you listen to Rigathi Gachagua blatantly told Azimio when he was talking in Kiriribi kia Inoro, Kikuyu Inoro TV, I think on Sunday, he told Azimio if they wanted to go to the street, they could have gone the following day. That is Monday. When you look at this, then you see that Gachagua does not even want this dialogue to continue because he knows very well that he's the one who is going to lose. Kwa kile ambacho tunaweza kusema ni kwamba from the onset tunaweza kusema kwamba the government did not mean business. From the onset, if you watched what Kimani Ichung'wah said after State House meeting, if what he said is anything to go by, they were trying to set the agenda of the meeting, but Azimio is not going to take this line. Wamekataa kabisa. Na jambo lingine ambalo ni tunaweza tukasema ni kwamba even William Samoei Ruto, what I can say is that he was just trying to cool down the political temperatures. He didn't mean business. When you look at it, there is no goodwill on the part of the government. And when there is no goodwill, then it means that Azimio must go back to the streets, must go back to the people. Because according to the Constitution, all power belongs to the people. And our elected leaders only exercise powers because people have decided to delegate the powers to them. Otherwise, without the people, these leaders have no business being in power. The president exercises powers, delegated powers, because of the people themselves. The people can decide to recall this power and exercise these powers directly. So kile ambacho tunaweza tukasema ni kwamba wakati ambapo maandamano yanaanza pale, kusema ukweli, ni watu wanaanza kuchukua mamlaka yao. Unajua Waswahili wanasema wegi wape, usipowapa watajichukulia kwa mikono yao. Na hivi ndivyo watu wanafanya. Again, when you look at the government, you realize that the government from the onset, William Samoei Ruto's government is not a reformist type of government. Indeed, when you look at this government, it is a conservative government. Although most of the time, kile ambacho wanasema ni kwamba unajua wanajitokeza kama wana harakati wa mabadiliko. Lakini kusema ukweli, since time memorial, watu ambao hawajai kuhusishwa na jambo fulani hujifanya ndio ambao wanahusishwa na yale mambo. Because we know very well that William Samoei Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua were Moi boys, truth be told. They were handsmaids of Arap Moi. Now, William Samoei Ruto opposed the 2010 constitution, and it was a good thing that he opposed the constitution. Now, he's the one who is defending the same constitution. Now, he's the one who is very busy telling us how we are supposed to implement this constitution, how good the constitution is. So, kile ambacho tunaweza tukasema ni kwamba when you look at the government, you know, the government has been caught flat-footed. Kwa sababu ukiangalia, it has taken too much time to constitute the dialogue committee. Na unapoangalia upande wa Azimio walifanya haraka sana, wakawa na watu wao ambao wataongoza mjadala wa maridhiano. Lakini unapoangalia upande wa serikali, walijikokota kabisa. It took almost, it has taken almost 3 weeks before they constituted their team. This one tells you that they are not in a hurry and they cannot be pushed. That is what they are saying. Again, when you look at the Abaita himself, the national speaker, speaker of the National Assembly, this guy, Moses Wetangula, is a politician. When you look at this guy, completely compromised by William Samoei Ruto's side, completely compromised. Indeed, the parliament has turned out to be a branch of the executive instead of being a branch of government and one arm of the government. It is now turning out to be the branch of the executive. Because all said and done, even trusting parliament is also an issue. Because if we are going to trust parliament, and this parliament has been captured by William Samoei Ruto, how do you expect this parliament to be fair to Azimio? How how do you expect William Samoei Ruto to be fair to Azimio? Yet the lead negotiators, one of them is Adam Kenan, who is a Jubilee a member of parliament. Don't you see this is very ridiculous, by the way? Don't you see this is contempt? Kwa sababu when you look at it, utaona kwamba it's like telling Azimio, sisi hatutaki ujiga. Huo ujiga wenu pelekeni kule kwenu. And again, when you look at Azimio did very well because they meant well. They appointed their top brain, their cream, Otiende Amolo, Weg, Akina Odema Olekina. In fact, guys who know how to negotiate, guys who are very eloquent, guys who have passion to bring the necessary changes in this country, guys who support Azimio's spirit, guys who understand Azimio and what Azimio stands for. But when you look at Kenya Kwanza, siku hizi watu wanaita Kikuyu na Kalenjin, that is KK. Kikuyu Kwanza, Kalenjin tena. Kile ambacho tunaweza tukasema ni kwamba when you look at the people who are appointed by the side of the government, you realize that these are just lightweight guys. We have no problem with these guys. But when you look at it, you realize that the government was not serious. When you look at these guys, you realize that the people who are nominated by the side of the government, they are people who are not competent enough. They are inexperienced. They don't bring much on the negotiating table. So this one tells you that the government was not taking this seriously. Again, when you look at this parliament, the parliament that we have is a product of corruption. Look at it. Most of these guys, some of these guys, you see the way they were cleared by IBC, they are not very clean. They are not coming to parliament with the clean hands. Some of these guys are in parliament. Some of them have been compromised by the government. Some of the people have crossed over. And again, something else that William Samoei Ruto and his side are forgetting is that everybody is interested with this country. We cannot just trust parliamentarians as the people who are going to lead these negotiations. Yet we have the civil society, wako pale nje. We have professional bodies like the Law Society of Kenya, the Kenya National Union of Teachers, the medicals and dentists, whatever, practitioners. We have the Juakali sector. So you have the businessmen. Let us involve everybody, including the matatu sector. Kwa hivyo hakuna haja ya kujaribu kuwatega watu pale. So when you look at it, utaona ya kwamba this bipartisan dialogue was set to fail from the onset. And I strongly believe that when Raila goes back to the streets, things may turn out to be elephant. When Raila goes back to the streets, the results could be very, very different. And if I were William Samoei Ruto, I would ensure that this dialogue succeed. I would not wait for people to go to the streets. I would not wait for Raila to lead the demonstrations. I would not wait, because you see now, they are saying that the economy is in serious problem because of mismanagement, kwa sababu nchi imeporwa, wamejibikizia mali yote, hakuna pesa, wafanyikazi wengi mpaka wajalipo mpaka sasa, and the county governments are on the verge of collapse because for 4 consecutive months they have not been receiving funding from the government, and anytime they can collapse. And one thing that people should know is that William Samoei Ruto has never been a champion of devolved governments. He has never been a champion of the devolved funds. And that is why he opposed the 2010 constitutions. The father of devolution is Raila Amolo Odinga. And if Raila Amolo Odinga, kama ndiye angekuwa pale, Raila Amolo Odinga alikuwa anasema kwamba kama ni yeye agiogeza hata ule mgao wa pesa ambazo zinaenda kwa magatuzi yetu. And you remember very well that when William Samoei Ruto was in government, when he was the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya, he rallied Kenyans, especially those who were in Kenya Kwanza, that the government was quartering, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's government was quartering money meant for county governments. And now he's now on the driver's seat, but his government is unable to fund the county government. We have seen not once, not twice, the governors crying to the media. We have seen them crying to the people. We have seen them complaining, and they can just continue complaining because what we know is that we have a clueless government in power. What we know is that this government is so much inexperienced that it requires somebody like Mukisa Kitui to be called, and people who have been in Kibaki's government and other people like Matiang'i. That is the only time I believe this economy can be revived. That is the only way I believe that people can take seriously that this government can bring the necessary changes. I don't know what you think, but from where I sit, I can tell you, when Raila goes back to the street, things will be elephant. Kindly like this video, and you have a blessed day. Bye-bye.